Okay, so it's time for the final coverage of this year's Icast, and I'll have to say that compared to the last couple of years, this year's Icast was actually pretty decent, but I don't think we'll ever get to the level of excitement and hype that we had back in like 2018, 2019. But anyways, in this video, I'm just going to be going over some of the more interesting releases when it comes to rod and reels, and maybe a couple of baits. So luckily for us, Tackle Warehouse has all the new releases conveniently listed on one section of their website. So of course we're here at tacklewarehouse.com, and let us begin. This might be a longer video, but we're gonna go to new releases coverage. And I think shop all new releases. And of course we're gonna start with the casting reels. Now, right up front, the first reel that we see is the 13 Fishing Shift casting reel, coming in at $89.99. Now, who even knew that 13 Fishing was even still in business? I thought they packed up shop years ago, but apparently I was wrong. But from what I see, it's a good looking little reel. Looks to be two-tone with some red accents. Trying to see what Chinese OEM this may be coming out of, but not a bad reel. I think I know. You can see that the brake dial is on the side there, nice and big. But let us check out some of the features here. Of course, 13 Fishing is a company that aggressively targets the younger anglers, so of course they're going to try to be cool and cutting edge in a lot of their marketing. So Shift is spelled S-H-Y-F-T instead of S-H-I-F-T. But features include carbon frame and side plates, brass main gear and pinion, 7+1 bearings including 2 high spin spool bearings, ceramic line guide, 2-tone aluminum spool, MCS cast control, blah blah blah, 6.8 ounces, 2 gear ratios, $89.99. So typical price for a carbon frame reel, but unfortunately for 13 Fishing, what's also in this price category is going to be the PISCIFUN Alloy M2, which is a reel that has an aluminum frame. And if you saw the casting video I did of it, that thing absolutely bombs out. So it's going to be a tough sell for 13 Fishing. And they are still trying to get rid of their gimmicky Concept Z slide that they came out with like 3 or 4 years ago. Alright, let's go back. So of course DAIWA came out with their new big ZILLION and the $350 60th anniversary all silver TATULA. Looks like KastKing is selling the ALTI at Tackle Warehouse now. And speaking of KastKing, we have the Kestrel Ultimate BFS reel. Now I actually have this reel. They sent it to me a few weeks ago, and of course I'm going to be doing its own standalone video, so we're not going to get too much into it. But from what I've seen, it is a step up from the old Kestrel Elite. So be on the lookout for that. Now, as far as sheer number of releases, LEWS definitely was the winner. We have the new custom TLX 150. I think this is a reel that has bigger line capacity, but still only 5.6 ounces. It's gonna have the Paramag braking system, aluminum frame, 20 pounds of drag. Yeah, 125 pounds of 12-pound. Definitely going to be a reel that has a deeper spool, and you can definitely see it right here. So if you need line capacity but you want a lightweight reel, looks like LEWS has got you covered. $250. Now they've come out with a new Hypermag, or I guess a refreshed version, the Hypermag 150, and this has Paramag braking as well, but it's going to be the ITB, which is the dynamic version of Paramag that has the movable rotor. But this is one of the flagship reels for LEWS. I think it probably is the flagship reel because I think the couple of reels that were above this were discontinued. But one piece magnesium frame, carbon side plates, double bearing pinion, 20 pounds of drag, paramag ITB, all the cool features that comes with the high-end LEWS. Weighs only 5.4 ounces and 110 pounds of 12-pound line, so not quite as much as the previous reel. But if you look through LEWS lineup, I don't know if this is just like a deeper spool version of the Hypermag. Here's the other Hypermag reel. Let's see what the line capacity is. 110 pounds of 12, so the same. So it looks like it's just a refreshed version of Hypermag. Now with this particular frame that they're using, I hear that it palms kind of big. But if someone was to want to send me one of these to test out, I'd be happy to. Okay, and now we have a LEWS Speed Spool ITB 200. So it's got a 200 line capacity designation. And let's check it out. Alright, that's a new looking side plate. But 6.2 ounces, aluminum frame, carbon side plates, 9+1 bearings, and paramag ITB. 120 yards of 12-pound test, 6.2. So it's kind of strange that this LEWS Speed Spool ITB 200 is only $200 versus, you know, the TLX that doesn't have ITB coming in at $50 more. But I think it's the fact that the TLX is using one of the latest frames out of that factory. All right, and then we have a Speed Spool RX 200, $199. All right, and I think this looks better. It's got the black with red accents. And oh, this is a hyper speed. All right, so it's got regular paramag, but the gear ratio is 9.5 to 1. Okay, so this is its own special model that's got the extremely high gear ratio. I thought it was an entire new line, but it's its own specific high-speed model. And then Okuma came out with 3 new reels, and we're going to check out their top-of-the-line Helios XT. Now this is a very interesting design. Some of you guys may find it polarizing, but you got to separate yourself somehow in this competitive market. But yeah, you can see right here, try to blow this up, but you can see right here there are a lot of strange, quirky design elements in this reel, especially with that top plate. I'll let you be the judge on whether you think it looks good. But one disappointment right here is this. You see right there, there's no adjustment on the side plate. So that means Okuma is still using that same internally adjustable centrifugal braking system only, which they call, what is it? Well, they just say internally adjustable centrifugal cast control system. So I mean, we are in 2026 and the year's half over, and braking systems like this are only gonna hinder your sales. You need to develop some kind of a centrifugal system that's externally adjustable. But anyway, we have another reel that enters the $200 price point category, and I have to say that's probably the hottest baitcaster category currently. Right around 200 bucks. There's a lot of offerings. Okay, here's some budget Okuma baitcasters. The Eminent looks cool. Kind of reminds me of that 13 Fishing, two-tone black and gray with red. Carbon frame and side plates for 110 bucks. It's gonna be a hard sell with that PISCIFUN Alloy M2 out there. Then here's a big shocker, at least to me. The 7 brand has come out with like 3 new baitcasters. So I guess that means that that 7 reel that came out, I think it was last year or a couple of years ago, they must be selling quite well. They think it warrants coming out with 3 new baitcasters. But you got the GFC 150 Color Rush series. Kind of a odd color combination, like light purple and then greenish turquoise accents. $145. Let's see what it comes with at that price point. Carbon frame, true torque gears, carbon glide drag, T3. So actually absolutely nothing makes this reel worth $145. And this is absolutely going to be a tough sell for 7, because let me show you what is lurking around this price point. Let's go to the main players. So over at DAIWA, they have the TATULA X, best-selling reel, proven platform, at $149. And then they have the FUEGO CT, another proven platform, at $149. But that's not even the best reel around this price point. The best reel by far, hands down, around this price point is going to be the mighty giant killing Shimano SLX XT, coming in at $144.99. Aluminum frame, SVS Infinity brakes, Shimano pedigree. So anyway, like I said, I don't know who is going to be picking up this oddly colored reel, the GFC Color Rush, at that price point when those other options are available. But now it looks like we have another reel in the 300 size category, the Lunex, and let's check it out. So if 300 indicates size and line capacity, this should be a competitor to the Tranx 300. Designed for targeting trophy fish, blah blah blah. Yep. Let's see what you get for that money. Okay, aluminum frame, thank God. Carbon glide drag. Rated up to 33 pounds. Dang. T3 bearings, true torque gears. Basically just marketing hype. 10+1 upsized brass main gear. And 9.3 ounces, I'm assuming. Even though it's under inches per turn, nothing on the weight and nothing as far as line capacity. But for $199, I mean, I don't think there's any other 300 size reel that's $200. I mean, the Tranx 300, even the old CURADO 300 are more expensive. All right, so last but not least is the 7 Veltrix at $105. And I immediately recognize this frame. Of course, it's going to be made in China. Graphite frame, carbon glide drag, blah 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 blah. So basically just their entry into the 100-ish price point category, but not to beat a dead horse, for only $89, PISCIFUN Alloy M2. Alright, so of course we know about the new CURADO and the CONQUEST. CURADO won the best freshwater reel category this year, as if that means anything. But let's just browse the spinning reels real quick, even though I'm not into them. So 13 Fishing has a shift spinning reel, $99. Slate spinning reel. Baits came out with the funky and expensive spinning reel. Look at that, $600, and they're claiming it's made in the USA. Interesting. But yeah, look at this thing. Very industrially skeletonized frame. I don't know if it's supposed to mimic like old school spinning reels, but $599. Definitely gonna have to be a baits diehard to buy that one. Of course, DAIWA came out with their latest BG, which stands for black gold spinning reels. In fact, DAIWA came out with a crap ton of spinning reels. 7 is coming out with spinning reels to match their bait casting reels. Of course, Shimano's new Miravel and the Vanquish with the double paddle handle. Alright, now let's check out some casting rods. There was a lot of new releases, and yeah, it looks like 13 Fishing came out with a host of new casting rods. The most interesting being the Enzo casting rods. Not sure why they named Enzo, but as you can see, they look like pretty much a Shimano DAIWA clone. Got the DAIWA-esque forenut along with the imitation Shimano monocoque rear grip. But I will say it is a good looking reel. Just a hint of red accents. And semi-budget friendly at $149.99. It's going to come in lengths of 6'8" all the way to 7'6". Now, 13 Fishing used to be the go-to for like budget fishing rods a few years ago, and I actually bought one, and unfortunately, just like many others, mine broke. So hopefully they have upped their quality control, because if these are quality rods that don't break, I can see them selling quite a lot. 5-year warranty, 20 of the inserts, 36-ton graphite blank. Alright, so swim bait, rod, travel 3-piece rods. Of course, we covered the DAIWA rod releases. I'm going to be picking up this Beam X glass rod. It's only $49. And that's shocking to see a DAIWA in 2026 that is so affordable. Dobbins, Fitzgerald. Now, G-LOOMIS has refreshed their IMX lineup. Now, in G-LOOMIS speak, the IMX is actually the mid-priced rod series, and I know you laugh at that statement considering these rods cost $450 and up, but above the IMX series is going to be the GLX series, and then above that is the NRX series, and then above that is the Conquest series. So yeah, this is what G-LOOMIS considers a mid-range rod lineup, coming in at $450. Typical G-LOOMIS styling with cork, split grips, just very clean and understated. Personally, I'm not interested in any of them. If I'm going to be getting a G-LOOMIS, which I do have one, I will be getting the NRX. But I just want to check out something real quick. See if it comes with that famous lifetime warranty with Expediter, and it does. I will say, if the NRX is out of your reach, the IMX, I'm sure, is a great rod for the price, but for the money, I would rather get like a Poison Adrena. Alright, some more IMX stuff. Wow. Halo Fishing Poise casting rods, $99. Obviously, this is targeted towards the young angler that likes all the flashy colors. Level Fishing BFS Elite casting rods. This is interesting. $149. I've never heard of Level Fishing, but of course, new rod companies pop up every year. Looks like there's only one model. 7-foot, light power, extra fast, which is great. And let me see, 30-ton, 20 blank, lure rating 1/16 to 1/4. But yeah, this is definitely a Bass BFS rod, in my opinion. And if Level Fishing is watching this, I would love for you to send me one to do some testing. Team LEWS, Signature Series casting rods. But check this out. The JDM brand has made its way here to America in the form of Noris. Now, Noris has been around in Japan for decades now. It's a very boutique brand, and it's the brand of the Shimano Pro Staff guy. His name is Norio something. I don't know what his last name is, but as you can see, these are commanding a premium price, $699. They have the Structure NXS, the Voice Jungle, Voice LTT. I don't know what that means, but let's take a look at some of these rods. First of all, having this type of forenut was unacceptable back in 2016, but I guess he's going for function instead of form. I don't really see anything that is telling me this is a $700 rod. I mean, it looks nice. Let me see here. 1 year limited warranty. Claims must go to Spro. I guess Spro is importing these. 610 extra heavy fast, features stiff solid tip. 7.2 medium, features telescopic blank. High torque graphite. Kyogo titanium guys. Torzite inserts. Okay, so it's got some very high-end expensive components. Rod bag. If I was a cajillionaire and I wanted to try one of these out, I would be getting the 6'10" heavy extra fast, because extra fast and Japanese rods are extremely rare, and their version or definition of heavy power is a lure rating of 1/4 of an ounce to 5/8 of an ounce. So more like a medium power in American speak. Not sure who would be buying these rods when the new Poison ADRENA has been brought over. Here's another look. I guess these are swim bait rods. It's got a nice green blank. I see some cross weave there. Yeah, these are for heavy line and heavy baits. Now the Voice LTT. I wonder what that stands for. Well, I'm not sure why this is its own model, the Voice LTT, but Phoenix, Inshore Series, Okuma. Of course, I went over the Shimano Insurgents, a separate video, and then the new Poison Glorious, St. Croix, and then, of course, some existing rods have added to their lineups. So of course all this information is available for you to check out at Tackle Warehouse more in depth. But as far as baits go, I know the big hot trend is going to be these dice baits that have been out in Japan for years. These urchin baits. I may want to try one out. If anyone has tried any of these urchin or dice baits and had good success, let me know in the comments, because I'm pretty sure the bass around here have not seen this type of lure. And as far as everything else, I mean, the only really cool thing I saw in lures is going to be this right here, the Rapala X-Lite Minnow number 5. It's a little jerk bait for bait finesse, 2 inches long, weighs only 1/8 of an ounce. Looks like a taller profile of their ultralight minnow that I've had success with. But Rapala lures, even though their ultimate colors and fit and finishes are behind a lot of the JDM counterparts, they catch fish. And it looks like this lure is going to have a crap ton of color options. I'd be interested in the chrome, ghost shiner, live brown trout. That looks pretty cool. Perch, rainbow, pearl white. So yeah, I didn't really see anything else as far as lures go that caught my attention. But now we're going to go to a release that looks like it wasn't officially announced to Icast, but is probably going to be an extremely hot seller. And that takes us over to LEWS, the LEWS website. And a lot of you guys may already know about this reel, but it's definitely flown under the radar. I'm not sure, but it's definitely flown under the radar, and I'm not sure why LEWS didn't announce it at Icast. But LEWS has gone digital. When I say digital, I mean digital breaking with the LEWS XL DB150 bait cast reel. It says coming soon. Let's read about it. It says experience unmatched casting performance and fish with confidence using the XL DB150 bait cast reel. At the heart of the setup is the innovative digital brake system. Blah 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 blah. Now, at this price point, which is only $150, that's going to make it the cheapest digital brake reel sold in America by far, undercutting the REVO Voltic by like 50 bucks. This reel is going to have a graphite frame and side plates. And yeah, it looks to be just LEWS version of the Voltic. And I am definitely going to be picking one of these up as soon as they come out, which, let me see, when are they coming out? I'm not sure. I'll have to get in touch with Sam over at Lake Pro Tackle to see when they're getting them in. And maybe I can get him to send out one of these. So let me know in the comment section if you want to see this LEWS XL DB tested and of course battled up against its rivals. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it for all the tackle I found interesting that came out at this year's Icast. If I missed anything, let me know, because I did not go through every single category and check out every single bait. I just kind of went through all the usual baits that I would normally fish, and honestly I didn't see much there. But anyways, once again, be on the lookout for that Kestrel Ultimate Bait Finesse unboxing, which is going to be the next video coming out. Alright guys, thanks a lot.